All right, friends, I'm back with another video. It's on a Greg Doucette, a 2.05 million sub lifting slaves. So I was wrong about her. So these two lifting slaves are going to give a commentary, I guess, I don't know, on some whatever the hell they're doing here. And steroid. I would call them steroid slaves and lifting slaves. They're a slave to the steroid and then they become a slave to the lifting to maintain the fake gains. All right, the artificial sarcoplasmic gains. All right, let's go for this, man.
Wake up and envision the dream of like you're working so hard to get to somewhere. What would the end result look like?
I have it.
Oh, you got a picture?
Ooh. She got a pic, man. Let's see, man.
Let's go again.
I don't know how you can do this more than say.
Look at Greg. He's looking a little flat there. Hey, Greg, you need a little bit of injection there in your delts and stuff. Okay.
Even like twice a week would be a lot.
I do it 4 to 5 times a week.
I know. It's like I'm trying to wrap my.
She lifts 4 to 5 times a week. That's endurance training. See, anybody that lifts in a gym is chronically lifting 4 or 5 times a week is an endurance trainer. Anything that you do more than, let's say, you're doing something more than every 10 days, you are an endurance lifter. That's what you are. And then what comes along with endurance? Glycogen, because you're eating glycogen as an energy source, a herbivore diet. You're eating the grass, not the cow. And so that glycogen loads in the muscle, especially when you're taking steroids, because you are a slave to steroids. Steroids are enhanced performing drugs. You're enhancing your performance by glycogen loading. So you can keep working harder than the last time at lifting. And so they create what you would call an artificial muscle growth by adding this glycogen in the muscle. It isn't based on protein, because that window ended a long time ago with MND size limit. So there you go.
Head around how you can actually do it. Like, it doesn't make sense. So do you get your blood work done to see like what minerals you're missing, or like to make sure that
steroids are not muscle building drugs. They are enhanced performing drugs. That's why they call them that. That's for the reason they call them that. I guess people are mistaken. They don't understand what testosterone does. Testosterone draws more glycogen in there into the muscle. Now, I'm not saying that if your muscles were to shrink, that testosterone can help you to bring them back up to par, homeostasis. Let's say they shrink and you want them to come back to homeostasis. Will artificial testosterone help? Well, yeah, it'll kind of help you a little bit. Yeah, man. But that's not dependent just on that.
You're not like overworking your body?
Yeah, I do that. And magnesium is one of the most important supplements that I require.
Yeah.
And B complex.
Okay.
So my body requires
vitamins. Yeah.
My body just sucks up into that. So that's why I take electrolytes. If you don't have electrolytes, just take a pinch of salt, Celtic salt or Himalayan salt in your water with a pinch of baking soda. That will help you remineralize your electrolytes.
I think a lot of people think that you can't have salt in your diet, but that's like for the average person. When you're at the gym sweating like this, maybe losing 2 to 5 pounds, you need to replace that sodium. I'm skipping the next set. Like,
yes? Okay.
Yeah, I can't do any more. I know my limits.
Drop set so we can do arms. I think I'm gonna increase it a little bit.
You want 4 to start?
Yes. Drop set so we can do arms. I think I'm gonna increase it a little bit.
You want 4 to start?
Yes.
Like I said, this is the epitome of two steroid slaves that have now become lifting slaves to the steroids. They gotta be a slave to the steroids, because if you don't take the steroids, those fake gains, man, they're gonna go, bro. I'm telling you, they're gonna go faster than the last time. And they are a slave to the lifting, because they, in their mind, they think lifting, I gotta lift this heavy weight because it's going to build a muscle somehow, magically out of thin air. And that's not what's building the muscle. And then they have a problem because the drug it kind of exudes this effect that you want to push your body to lift a heavy weight. You're kind of like in lifting hell, man, lifting limbo hell.
I lower my heart rate a little bit, so I wait around 10 seconds to 15, and I go again. I don't want to have my cardio be the obstruction of me completing the set.
Yeah, if you're too tired.
She doesn't want her cardio to obstruct a set. She is cardio. This is cardio. What are you talking about?
Your cardio is going to be your limiting factor. That's why you rest between sets. If you just
I mean, notice their faces. It already shows they take steroids. When you look at their face, you could tell.
go and do your whole workout back to back to back, you're not going to have the ATP required to put out the maximum power in your set. So there is a fine line.
You're not going to have the ATP to put the maximum power to your sets. You have the ATP. The steroids are holding that ATP in your muscle. That's what it's doing.
If you don't rest long enough, you don't have the strength. But if you rest too long, you're just wasting your time.
My goal is always to hit more than 15 and up. So always more than 15. One more.
Yeah, buddy, lightweight.
And so she's only taking one plate off each set. I would minimum need one off of both sides each set to be able to keep going. It's just interesting to see the difference between our energy systems, how much you can recover so much faster.
Yeah, everyone's different, so that's why I tell you don't do what other people do what feels good for you. Because if he was doing the same thing that I would be doing, he probably would be injuring himself. That's not smart.
If somebody told me they trained like this, I'd say there's no way they could work. I said they'd never recover, they'd be always sore, but the proof is in the pudding, it's clearly working. And so just because one person can't do it doesn't mean the other person can.
Yes, wearing yourself out is great, and being sore or after you finish this set, you're going to be sore walking around the gym there. That's really great. That's wearing yourself out. Yeah, that's great, man.
It's time for the fan.
Man, it's funny watching these lifting slaves. They think they're actually building something, and in the end, they've built absolutely nothing. The best is when everything goes away, or they just, they eventually drop off the drugs or whatever they're doing there, and just everything goes away. They become a normal person, and then everybody's just like, what happened here?
I'm good. Then I'll leave that one for the other people.
Exercise are like food. Sometimes you get an exercise you really like and you do it all the time. Maybe you like the bench press for 6 months and you're like, I don't need a bench press. I do an incline press. Same as food. I made eat French toast for 6 months. I'm like into pancakes and popcorn, mixing it up. So if you had a goal, would you prefer to be leaner or have more muscle? Which of the two? If you could only pick one, what would you rather have?
Wow.
And that would be for like year round.
Well, muscles, because muscles are leaner, get you leaner. They burn so much calories that they, by default, will get.
They burn so much calories, they get you leaner. I guess. Yeah, man. I don't know. I mean, you're on anabolics, so you take anabolics. They make you lean. They remove the water. They make you how should I put it? They dry you out. So I don't know what she's talking about.
You leaner.
So if you could have your dream physique, if I get snapped your
She's making up stuff, man. A person, it works different than people on steroids.
fingers as a genie,
Hey,
what would you wish? You could 10 pounds of muscle,
10 pounds of
2
muscle.
pounds less fat. Like, what would be your dream? 40 pounds of muscle. Like, if you could just wake up and envision the dream of like you're working so hard to get to somewhere, what would the end result look like?
I have it.
Oh, you got a picture?
Kind of. It will be even bigger than this.
Oh, like a superhero. The tiny waist, crazy quads, like a really jacked wellness girl.
But bigger legs and bigger.
And even bigger legs than that. So there's no limit to how much muscle you would really want.
No, there's no limit. I really just love muscles. I believe it's like a
That's easy. Just eat Eat more glycogen. Eat more complex carbs, and you're gonna build a lot of more of those phony muscles. That's it.
sculpting.
Yeah.
You're making everything bigger, better, seeing every detail that you're building, like art. So for me, bigger muscles is just.
So you look great now.
Bigger muscles are just inspiring. Yes. Can you imagine, man, if you build real muscle, like made out of protein, like just how dense and how heavy you would be walking around, just how much that would weigh on your body? The energy that is required for that to hold real muscle, as opposed to these energy muscles made from glycogen. Oh man. But there's glycogen muscles, they make you feel sick, horrendous. You start breathing heavy and shit, man, you have heart problems, bro. It is crazy, even carrying that weight around.
But if there was one thing, like based on that photo, it looks like the legs is where.
Bigger calves, bigger legs, and smaller waist. So
Okay.
I can.
And so keep the waist the same size now, but if you have bigger legs, it makes the waist look smaller, wider shoulders. It comes in, that gives you that
Like
extra.
more like an hourglass, because I love also
Yes, an hourglass, this, that, yeah.
upper body.
Yeah.
So hourglass figure is just my go-to.
Yeah, so wider shoulders, bigger legs, small waist, and just have that crazy X-frame like a
Exactly.
cartoon. Teenager, like 18, were you dreaming you could look like you are now? Was this kind of
Yeah.
like what you had in your mind?
So I dreamt about it, but I didn't think I would do it. I was more of a runner, and I spent more time with guys.
Yeah.
So it was like normal for me to see muscles, but I didn't know that I could do that. So I tried it.
So do you feel like you've accomplished more than you dreamed possible? Like, do you feel like
Okay, whatever, man. That was funny. I don't know. That didn't make sense, but
already you're like thinking, wow, if I could only get to this size, but then once you got to that size, you're like, I want even more? Because like for me personally, when I was 150 pounds, I thought if I could ever be 165, I would be so happy. I would never want more. And I got to 165, and then it was 175, 185. I got to 230.
And they get so addicted, like, oh my God, can.
yep, that's what happens. You become addicted to the drugs and the lifting slave and the fake muscles. Ha ha ha. That's what happens. Like she said, you become addicted and then you become a slave to this.
Do more.
Yes.
I can do more.
I was never satisfied, but I was happy with what I'd achieved.
Exactly.
But I always wanted more.
So same with me. I'm happy with who I am right now and everything I have achieved. But I build myself in being better always. And by being better, I grow. And by growing, I keep living. So if it makes me feel alive and it makes me feel better, then I just keep doing it because it makes me feel good.
So I have this term, I kind of coined it, I call it performance dysmorphia, where you want to be better and better and better. Like, are you happy? Like, if you couldn't get any better, are you happy, content with what you've already accomplished? Or do you feel dissatisfied and you want to keep getting more? Like, I don't know.
None of these people will ever be satisfied with what they've done. It'll be an endless chase forever. This is where you get enslaved. Get it? They're They're lifting slaves. They're gym slaves, man. For life.
If I explain it properly,
So, yeah,
does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't call it dysmorphia because it is not a dysmorphia. It is more of a morphing, of a growing better, of getting better. Not something that is bad, but instead of being better in life. Because if you're not better in life, what keeps you going? So
Right.
it is that I'm always getting better, beating myself who I was yesterday, being better.
Right.
So
I like that.
That's the problem with these people. They see themselves as inferior. They see themselves as being bad. And I gotta get better. I gotta get better because I'm so shitty. I gotta get better all the time.
The way I look at it is starting as Stairmaster at level 13, and I was like, can I do this at level 14? Can I do that at level 50 until I reach the level 20 with weights and everything? I'm like, what else can I do? Like,
Right.
keep being better because you're still living. Why would you stop?
So you're happy with
Yes, keep getting better. You're still living. Yeah, I don't know, man. The funny thing is these people, they don't know what they're getting. And they're getting some artificial fake stuff. And then they're like, I'm getting better. Not necessarily. It will all go away. It'll all go away because it was built unnaturally. It's unnatural. These things are unnatural. Even your body being like that is unnatural. That's why it's going to go away. Unless you build it real. Unless you build something real, that could stay. But anything that you build artificially, like this fake strength built on androgen receptors and this fake muscle, sarcoplasmic, it's all gonna go. It was actually for nothing. That's why a lot of people, they get discouraged. They wake up and they go, what happened? Their gains go, their strength goes one day, and They walk down the street. It was all for nothing. All that work you put in going to a gym, all those years and everything, it's just for nothing really. Go away. It can go away within that. If you don't lift for like 10 days or something, that strength, androgen receptor strength, it's gonna go really fast. And those gains go pretty fast too, those sarcoplasmic gains. That's why people are always complaining. My gains are going. Or I lifted yesterday 500, today I can barely do 250. It's always like that, man.
Everything you accomplish, you just want to get better and do more and do more. But you're not like disappointed in how you look. You're happy with your appearance. You're happy with your training, with your results, everything you've accomplished. You just want more because, well, why wouldn't you? Why not keep pursuing to being better tomorrow than you were today?
Exactly. Why not be the best version you can be? Why don't you want to see what you're capable of in this lifetime?
Sounds good. Sounds like you have a good attitude, good mental approach on everything. I like it.
Sounds like a commercial they used to play on TV. Be all that you can be, join the army. See that? Greg is addicted to that look, and he wants to tell you, don't take steroids, bro. You don't want to look like me. Don't take steroids. You don't want that cosmetic look like what I have. Go and do it natural. Let me sell you some testosterone, some whatever, some powders or something, creatine. Yeah, man, of course.
Your waist is tiny. It does look small.
These are two lifting slaves.
Muscular? Opposed to this one, maybe?
Which one, girl?
Or perhaps just like this?
That a boy, that's it.
Back. Oh. And you've only done one competition?
Yeah.
And you turned pro.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, the posing
Wow, she looks pretty roided, I would say, definitely.
was the only challenging thing for me because you have to know what you're doing and.
Oh yeah, if you haven't practiced.
Well, I guess she knows what she's in for. She's a competitor, so she knows this is fake and temporary, so maybe.
Side chest.
Which one is okay?
59 shows in all.
What?
I know.
How could you?
I started
Which
in
one is
high
it?
school, grade 12.
Pretty good.
You mean like bigger is like
All of this, and we did like 1 million drop sets and it was crazy. And you finish it with 35 minutes,
35
basically all
minutes
out.
and then I eat and I do my other training which is more EMS. So yeah, all day having fun.
You have to do
All day training, yes, that's great.
other training on top of this.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would go home and sleep until
More endurance training.
tomorrow. I don't know how you can do anything after this.
So I'm like the Energizer Bunny.
You endurance train, that's why you look lean. You get this look, the abs and everything in the gym. You endurance train, you get that look. Yeah.
I wear these cat ears and all the bunny ears because I have so much energy and I just love to spread my energy and love and beauty to you guys.
All right, friends, tell me what you think about that. Like, subscribe, comment down below. It helps the algorithm. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, man. Lifting slaves.